Hello again. Welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So today I'm gonna talk about the most relevant thing that we do and the most thing that we actually in life, because life is about spiritual journey. So we are all spiritual beings, so we're all constantly going through awakening. So I'm just gonna talk about forgiveness. This whole video, it will be about forgiveness, because forgiveness is something that we need to do. No, it's not a want, it's something that we need to do. So when it comes to forgiveness, obviously it's a process where we forgive ourselves for certain shame, the shame that we feel inside us, whatever action that you done that you were not pleased with. You probably end up regretting, or ended up not feeling good about it, because you done something that you feel like it's not aligned with your higher self, it's not aligned with how your principles were or your values. So we all have been there, we've done that, and some of the things that we've done, it's something that we don't like to be repeated. So yeah, we all been that. So I'm not gonna say I am different, because there are things where whenever I'm like, oh shit, I've done that. So yeah, so I'm just gonna talk about forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. So when it comes to forgiveness, it doesn't mean whenever you are forgiving others, and since you are forgiving others, now you are meant to be in your life. So whenever I remember when I had to apologize to one of the girls, I was not in a place where I had to demand to be in her life, and I was not in a place that I had to want to be in her life. I just knew I have no obligation to make to be the one who make how the whole process of forgiving me, how she should how I didn't have a right to make how the whole relationship would be. I didn't have a right to be the one who actually calling the shot. She had to call the shot, whether, you know what, it's okay, we can be around each other, it's okay to be whatsoever. So I'm just talking about that. So in our society, we are programmed to believe that we have to forgive people, which is true, but at the same time, you shouldn't force yourself. You shouldn't force yourself to forgive others. You shouldn't force yourself to be in a place where you just had to let go. You just know when to let go. You just know when it's too much. You just know when it's too much for you to hold on to. You just know it's your spiritual journey. You know that you need to let go of this. You need to let go of this grudge. You need to let go of whatever. I don't have, like, as someone who's offended someone, I don't have a right to be the one who's going, oh, are you still holding on that? I find it strange when someone is telling you how you should be, how you should feel about them, how you should feel about the whole process. If I actually, you hate me or I hate you, now you telling me that I should be moving on. So there was a time that I was actually triggered by a past person, and then he said to me, like, he did me wrong, and I was still in the process of healing from that, and like, it was too much, I was going through so much. So he told me that, oh please, you should supposed to be move on, oh please move on. I was like, what the hell? You are not, even if this thing that people do, when you're asking for forgiveness, whereby they're being pushy. Like, I'm just gonna make an example. That person was actually being pushy in terms of like, please forgive me for whatever I done, blah blah blah, and I'm not gonna forgive myself, blah 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 blah. I'm like, what? Like, why are you pushing me to forgive you? Because it's my journey. It's me who have to go about it. It's me who have to let go, not you. It's enough for you to come and say you want to meet or to actually forgive what you done, but it doesn't mean now I'm supposed to give you the answers. I'm just supposed to be in the place where I'm like, I want to communicate with you. I don't. I'm that person. When you done wrong, I just need to be alone. I just need my alone. It means I don't want to talk to you again most of the time, because most of the time people do dirty to the point that you end up cutting contact with them. It's because you just don't feel the need to be around them, you know. You just don't feel them being people actually genuine with you. You just know, you know what, am in a place where I don't wanna be around this person. I don't fuck with them anymore. So I'm just good, and whatever that happening in their life, it's happening for them. And what I choose to do with my time, my energy, is something that I don't need to be associated with someone. You know, it's a decision that you made. But whenever someone out of the blue, and whenever they're reaching out with a half apology, with a not genuine apology. It's disgusting. Like, it's fucking disgusting, because I don't understand why do we have to force other people to heal, in terms of like, bitch, you're supposed to be forgiving me. Like, you're calling the shot when my pain is supposed to stop. You are doing all that, but you actually telling me that you are want me to, you came here for apology. I find it disgusting. It's disturbing, you know. So when it comes to forgiveness, it's okay to come and say apologize for whatever that you've done to a certain person, but you don't have to be in a place where you're telling them how the process should be. And I also find it weird to say I'm sorry. Initially, I used to think that it's my ego whatsoever, but for now, I think I'm in a place where I'm like, I get it. I get it. We are programmed to believe that we are supposed to say I'm sorry to people and whatsoever. Okay, maybe there is a need for that, but I feel like for me, it has to be a behavior. You can't just be a person who say I'm sorry and you're not acknowledging whatever that you've done. For example, you're not supposed to say something that you don't mean. You're not supposed to apologize for the sake of saying it. You're not supposed to apologize for the sake of I wanted them to be quiet. You know, it's something that is so normal in couples, where we're like, whenever they're saying that whatever, for example, even in movies, they say something like, um, just apologize. Whenever your woman said something is nagging, just apologize. I'm like, what? I find it disturbing in a manner. Like, why are you apologizing for? Like, and where's you not acknowledging what are you up. I get it. I get it. Sometimes we just need to talk to our person, and you don't like the tension that between us, that is actually between us. But sometimes I find it disturbing that we have to communicate with our people, like to the point that they say you're not supposed to sleep having a heart that is actually heavy. You're not forgiving someone. It's wrong. Like, it's something that I feel like it's so wrong. You can't just say I'm sorry just for the sake that we are sharing a bed, and we are agreed that we're not gonna sleep without us having to, without us having discussed the matter into the point that we end up sleeping angry at each other. Because it's a process. Forgiveness is a fucking process. And how can you say I'm sorry for what I'm sorry without not knowing what exactly never giving yourself time to reflect what exactly that you've done. You're not acknowledging what exactly are you apologizing for. You don't know what exactly, like, you are just apologizing. At the same time you end up repeating the same thing, it's repeating the same pattern. That's why sometimes people, whenever they're reaching out for forgiveness, it's not something that it's instantly. Probably sometimes it takes them years to actually say, no, I was a dick. Some, they know that it was a dick, but it, because they're going through the process of being having shame. Because whenever you've done someone wrong, you're supposed to feel some type of way, like being like uh being shame. You feel shame, you feel guilty, because you were supposed to process those things, like processing being guilty, processing being shameful. It's a process. So sometimes they don't reach out because they're feeling that type of way, like they feel, they know what they've done is fucked up, and they know it's it's like it's something that they're in a low vibrational state, because guilty, as well as shame, is part of a low vibrational phase, whereby you have to go through it. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just know when to let go. So they're not reaching out because of that. They're not reaching out because, you know, they don't see them as people who actually made a something that is wrong. So I've been receiving a lot of fake apologies. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Do you know when people they're saying for the sake of it, just because they want to be back in your energy? I'm like, okay. So it's kind of, I don't know. It made me laugh. Like, I'm like, okay, like, humans. So I don't understand why they do that. Like, why do you apologize when you don't mean it? Like, why are you saying something that you don't mean? Why are you having to reach out knowing exactly that you have a deep energy? You're just saying because you miss the benefit of being with me. Why are you saying it for the sake of it? Why are you saying it just because you will look bad in the church, it will look bad in the society, it's affecting your reputation, and you're afraid that I will ruin your reputation? Sometimes people apologize for that. They know that they did you wrong, so they want to silence you with apology. Like, what? Like, so I believe that we should be genuine with ourselves most of the time. I always preach on that on that city. I always preach being genuine. I always preach being original to yourself. I always preach just be yourself. I always talk about this kind of thing. I think most of the time people hate you for that, which is something that is disturbing, because it's something that is free. You don't have to purchase it, you don't have to pay a huge amount of money, you don't have to fake it, you just have to be yourself. So whenever you're being yourself, of course you're being hated for that, but it's worth it. It's so worth it to be yourself. So yeah, thank you guys for coming along and listening to me talking about this kind of topic. And to be honest, was not prepared. So thank you for liking, for sharing, as well for subscribing on my YouTube channel. Bye.